Hello there, folks. Welcome back. You are watching UKSG Red 2023, coming to you live from Glasgow, Scotland. We are raising money for Crisis. We are a 2-day speedrunning marathon, and Crisis are a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, and 10% will go towards UKSG's future events. Without any further ado, we are ready. DeanoWeb, take it away with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses.
Cool. Okay, so hello guys. We're basically at the side selections. I'm just gonna kick off straight away because we're here. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So the first part of this game is just a big text scroller. I'll also let you introduce yourself if you want.
Hi, I'm Apache Smash. I've seen the Yu-Gi-Oh anime at least once.
That's all you need, you know.
The game famously, of course, having nothing to do with the anime whatsoever. I think Yukimoto is Henry Tudor or something. So
yeah, we're able to find out. I can't remember. I think it pops up as it says Yugi, but he's a prince. So if you'll notice here, we call ourselves A. So I skipped that. I skipped all the intro scene for the marathon just because it is easier. So we call ourselves A. So we get the zombie deck, and the zombie deck's usually the best one to go with because this game uses the field spells are it's like a chessboard, and each square has got its own field. So Dark and Wasteland are the best. I usually use most of the time. So that's why we go zombie. It's just easier.
yeah. So if you're familiar with the card game of Yu-Gi-Oh, I think we have life points, and that's about it.
Yeah.
As far as the card game goes, it's got the life point system.
Yeah.
You'll see some of the cards in the card game, but it's played completely differently. It's played on boards, and as you mentioned, the land spells affect all the monsters on the board as well. We'll talk you through the game as we go. If this screen looks confusing, don't worry. This is the deck builder, where Dino knows exactly what he's doing.
Apparently. Debatable.
He's going to get rid of some of his cards from the deck here.
Did that. It's one of those ones where obviously in a real proper run you want to do as fast as possible, but for a marathon I just don't want to mess this up because it takes. I do 13 cards in my deck edit for this game, and it's just one of those things that just takes lots of. It's like 5 minutes most of the time. Yeah,
so we have a password screen here, and that'll grant us some cards as well.
Yeah, it just makes the game a lot easier. Compared to other Yu-Gi-Oh games, I'm pretty sure I think one of the Tag Force games on PSP is 20-minute deck edit. Or it's insane. I don't know it's that long, but it's really long. Apparently it's 15. You just edit the full deck in that you use. So that takes a while. So thankfully this is only 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's a few different Yu-Gi-Oh games, and none of them are like the actual card game.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were created completely independently of the show and the card game. Like they weren't sharing notes with each other.
Yeah, especially obviously this and Forbidden Memories, which is technically this is the sequel to, kinda, is it's completely different from the actual card game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why the game is completely silent, bug. So
we bugged it out. Whoops.
Yeah, so we have no music, but which technically again, if I somehow PB, which I doubt I will.
Hey, keep the faith. I think you'll PB. I think you'll PB.
I can't use it because due to the fact there's no music, the game loads faster on the emulator. So we'll any time I lose in duels will get made up with the insane load times we have, which is quite nice. Can't really complain about that.
Bonus. I mean, I'll take it for a marathon all day.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, when you're doing these sort of games, this is the most boring part, and it's kind of just.
I think it's impressive watching you input these passwords completely from memory.
Yeah, definitely from memory.
And without any kind of notes that are in front of you. Yeah.
Not staring at them right now.
Yeah, it's something. It really is something to behold. That to me is really impressive.
So we run the American version of the game. For this, pretty sure it's the fact that the password thing is quicker. So when you hold it, as you can see, I can hold my analog, not that with directional key, and it does it super fast. And I'm pretty sure on the EU version, it doesn't do that, which is kind of annoying. So I actually own I own a PS2 still, and I own the actual game, so I could run console, but it's just it would be a lot slower, and also buying a graphics card just for a PS2 just to run one game can't be bothered.
This is actually again one of the few PlayStation 2 games I actually own.
Yeah.
I still have my copy of this game.
A lot of people say that they're always like, oh, I played this game as a child, or like it's a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah, I've got absolutely great memories of playing this and Forbidden Memories.
That's one I never played. I never played Forbidden Memories, but obviously that's the game that gets the most love in like speedrunning. With their 20 billion card mods that you actually use to run the game, unless it takes like 8 hours.
I'd say that they're different. They're different enough though, but definitely worth playing both of.
Yeah. It gives me the fear when you're playing the game and like everybody gets to the final boss, like the big final 7 or whatever it is, and they're just constantly having to like die. And
it's like a giant brick wall that you come up against. Very beautiful deck edit in there.
Yeah. To be fair, that's only 5 minutes and I was going quite slow, so I can't really complain. So there's 2 sides. The villains technically are Seto, and that's all like the villains of the anime. It's like Rex, Weevil, Darkness Ruler, Lab Guy. This is really weird without music. It's actually throwing me off. So what did I draw? That's a decent hand. Okay, we'll power this up here. So what we do is, because it's on its own zone, you can move it twice. And then we have a deck leader here, you move. So Rex can play a card that kills zombie monsters, which isn't what you kind of want. And I need a card that moves twice. So let's see, what did I draw? We'll play it safe. We will do the safe strategy here. I'm going to discard the full hand, just in case. So, even though it's not a zombie card, some monsters have effects, and King Tiger's effect, it gets to move twice.
You can combine cards in this game, and also what you'll see Dean doing is he'll combine cards that can't combine, and they'll be instantly discarded, and that just means he can get through his deck faster to get the cards that he actually wants.
Yeah. I forgot to move Dragon Zombie. That may be an issue, but you know what? We'll wing it here.
This one's a practice. This is a practice duel. It's a warm-up.
Cool. So we'll actually make sure he attacks, and then if he does end up moving, so because what strategy is, you get him, he doesn't move the deck leader, he just stays. So if you have this zombie, and that's hopefully beats all his dinosaurs, then he can't move anywhere else, and we trap him in. So this is kind of just like, because I misplayed, I'm having to back myself up. So, and obviously the longer the duels go on, the AI in the game always click on their own cards to like select. So even though they're not going to move the card, they still have to click it. So that takes a lot of time. As you can see here, we're having to do it all.
So we want to beat each deck leader as quickly as possible before they get too many things out onto the field. Otherwise, that's going to be time loss for every single turn that the duel goes on longer.
And the misplay kind of helped.
Because it was completely on purpose.
Yeah. So, because he had a trap card there. So the issue is now, he will probably keep defending himself because of the way I messed up. So I might need to, I don't want to, but I'm going to have to probably summon here. And then, I'll summon Pumpkin King and just have a card that's strong enough to beat all his dinosaurs. So this is taking a lot longer. The aim is usually, if you don't beat Weevil by 10 minutes, you usually reset. But again, we don't have that luxury. But
yeah, not today.
Yeah.
But you'll see in the top right and the top left is the life points. So if you're not familiar with the game, our life points are in the top left. The enemies are in the top right. We need to get that number to 0. Starts on 4,000. And we have to hit their deck leader card directly to deal life point damage. But right there, you see him win the duel.
And then
see, it all worked out. You were worried. You're like, oh, it's going to go to 10 minutes. No, we're fine.
Here you get the slot machine that has nothing to do. It can be useful in the speedrun if you draw get a wasteland or something off one of the people that run those sort of decks. But most of the time you don't really edit your deck ever again. So if you noticed, anybody who runs the game or plays the game would have noticed when we won the duel, the thing that comes down the screen that says you won came a lot faster due to the no music. That is but it was a bit fast. So realistically, You can do this in any order if you wanted to. I could have done Necromancer or Darkness Ruler. I just do Weevil after. As long as you get all the rose, each duelist you beat, you get a rose card. Once you get all the rose cards, then you do other duelists, and eventually you summon. Ooh, that's pretty good actually. That's a really good hand. Yeah. Probably should have discarded more cards, but whatever. So Dimension Hole means you get to move your deck leader, and I know Weevil always moves to his right, so our left. So that's why I'm going to play D-Hole here, and then I'm going to move forward and then play my Yami. So then his monsters can't move twice because obviously they're all insects. So he might summon in front of me and attack, but I'm pretty sure even if I'm this close to him, he will still move to his right. There's another when we eventually get to Mai. She can move twice, and if you get too close to her, she'll start moving away, so she won't do what Weevil does, where he's programmed to always go into this corner. So his Weevil's game plan is usually tries to block himself in. He moves himself into the corner, and he plays like Cocoon of Evolution to like the anime to get his big moth thing. So what we can do now is we can do this, and then yeah, I'm just gonna do that. So as you can see in the top left, where our life points are, we also have stars, and that's the deck cost, sort of like of what the cards cost. It's really annoying. So I'm going to move here now, so he can't summon. So he might actually have a strong enough monster to attack. He doesn't. Okay. So we also need to be careful now of where we are, because all these traps. This is insane. Because that monster is quite strong, and we also make sure we don't go into the forest, because then he can move twice and we'll move to defend ourselves. So if he didn't negate attack us, we would have won that turn because we had a strong enough monster. But we should be able to do it now.
He's finally out of trap cards. He's finally stopping us from
Yeah.
hitting him, and we can actually hit Weevil in the face now. So that's a bonus.
I'm going to move back just in the off chance he moves to his left and then with someone in front of me. Because obviously I'm still on dark, and because I'm on dark I can move twice now. So he can't ever attack. He can't defend himself. So, and because he's on a dark spot, we still win. Because if he wasn't, we would have only had 1700, and we would actually probably have had to defend ourselves against the other card. So, as I said, 10 minutes you want to beat this. We're at 12, it's fine. That's my big estimate. So again, as you can see, it's very different from actual Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a lot of AI manipulation, so as you know, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And the next duel coming up is a pretty good AI manip if you get him to do it. He just moves himself in front of you, and then you just get to attack him twice. Sometimes they do that, or like when we eventually get to Keith, with he's wearing like a Great Britain like bandana instead of an American one. It's quite funny. He doesn't defend himself if we get the good RNG. He just keeps moving away, and you just get defeat him for free. I always want to say you get to kill them. It's not. It's not like anime. We're sending like Shadow Realm or something. We're just beating them. It's like so here. Yes, hand's good. Okay, so just play that here. Let me move our back deck leader. So if you know you're going to move your deck leader, if you want to move back to your deck leader, because obviously the game will when you end your turn, it'll keep you where you were. If you get what I mean, so like it won't take you back to your deck leader. So if I go here, end my turn on here, it will then put me back in that Slate Warrior. So here we go. He moves himself in front of me. Sometimes, if you don't have a card that can move twice, you have to do what I did there. And also, it's a big risk because he can summon a big strong monster and attack you. But I know that I'll win now because when you summon Slate Warrior and he gets flipped up, he gains 500 attack, so we have enough damage to win. That's one of the cards you put into your deck because he can go over Crush Zone, so he's pretty much, I think the card type's Immortal, so he can double move over Crush, which is quite handy to have. And yeah, that's a good AI manipulation. Perfect there.
Turn 2 victory.
Yeah, he just moves in front of you for some reason, I don't know why. So, yeah, so again, you'll do all this side, and then you'll have a credit screen, so obviously then you get a side with Seto, and then defeat all of Yugi's friends, so then you're playing like Joey and stuff like that. What will I do? Let's do Pegasus, why not? Let's get that out of the way. So we'll do Pegasus now. So Pegasus actually doesn't have a rose card, but you still need to duel him anyway. I'm pretty sure you do. And he just tells you, oh, I don't have one. And you're like, okay. Even though technically if you think you just ignored him, you got all the other, but it's just how the game works. So obviously this is a toon zone. So this is one of the most kind of annoying duels because of how his field is set up. Okay, that is not amazing, but not bad technically. Because we still have a chance of drawing a lab breaker or a dimension hole. Probably should have maybe just risked it and discarded all my zombies just so I could have maybe got lucky. But having a field spell here means we can get rid of some of the toon. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just move our deck leader. And I'm going to probably just summon all these and then just move my deck leader in front. So we have a card called Muka Muka in our deck. In this game, Muka Muka, he gains 300 attack for each card in your, it's either 300 or 400, in your graveyard. So you fuse 2 cards, and then you discard the other card. So that means, obviously, we then got 3 cards in the graveyard instead of just 1. So it's quite good doing that. So yeah, Pegasus runs Change the Heart, which is kind of annoying. But Fanclev's only a 1200 monster. You need to be careful with that.
Yeah, so it's lucky he didn't get something stronger earlier because he'll have played the Change of Heart to it, and then he takes that card from you, and it's like right next to your deck leader as well, so he can instantly hit you in the face, which is not ideal.
Yeah. This is kind of sad. I'm keeping the power-ups because I might be able to one-turn them if I get a good enough card. But
based on what you've been drawing, I'm starting to think that you don't believe in the heart of the cards. I personally do believe in the heart of the cards, so I think we're going to do fine next turn.
Yeah. This will be very awkward if he... Okay, didn't do it. I was scared he would... Because obviously we know that... So we know that's a monster because it got the power increase when he used this probably spell card. So I was hoping he would flip something over and attack my card. Because that's good. I wanted to Yami on the field. Okay, so... Yeah, we'll... Oh, no, we'll do this. So we'll put Slate Warrior on the field. Now, Green Kappa, that card takes the attack of the strongest monster on the field, and then it gains it. But I don't want to risk it, because then it just bumps into each other. So I was like, I'll just use Slate Warrior. Slate Warrior should probably beat his card, even though it's been powered up, hopefully. If not... Oh, just by 100.
Just.
So when Slate Warrior dies as well, it makes Crush Zone, and a plus sign. So it's kind of annoying sometimes, but it's quite handy as well. Move him forward just in case he has another Change of Heart. Yeah, so we're going to do... So you can see the attack is going to be a bit insane now. There we go. And sadly, he's not on a dark zone. He uses a lot of traps, so he could have played a trap. So he'll probably move away. He won't defend himself. So we'll get one attack off, and then we'll have to move our deck leader and stuff. There's a good manipulation you can do, but it was just taking too long, so I just wanted to get the attack out there. Again, I need to make sure the monsters aren't near me due to Change of Heart. It'd be very annoying. So I'll just put that into the toon. Yeah, okay, so I need to make sure I do this smart. Oh no, do this wrong way. Okay, so we want to do this, into this, into this. So that we drew Muka Muka, but Muka Muka's rock, and you don't want to make the mistake of fusion in Muka Muka, you want to keep it. So there I made another fusion, so that's already 5 cards discarded. And then if I can somehow get him to attack Muka Muka, we'll win, because it's probably got like 6,000 damage. Perfect. There we go. Let's see how much I had. Take a guess. Oh,
perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I knew exactly how many cards I discarded as a true Yu-Gi-Oh player, you know. So yeah, and that again that took so long, but it's just I didn't draw any lab breakers, didn't draw dimension hole, so it was just. And obviously he had a monster as well, so I couldn't even technically do the manip because like you need to get the fuel spell, so he would probably destroy the fuel spell. It would have just been. I did that. It's probably the best I could, considering of the card. You're
doing the best with what you get.
Yeah.
You can only do. You can only play with what
I've not lost and had to surrender. Yeah. There's a duel that you basically need to. Like, if you don't get the RNG, you just surrender on. So that'll be fun. That's settle when that comes up. One of those ones where if you have a strong enough monster, you flip up in the middle, and he just moves into you for some reason. If he doesn't do that, you just surrender. Keep doing it, because he can move twice. So again, you just chase him forever, and his zone's pretty much all normal. It's just horrendous. So let's see if we got the good... What card do we get? Oh, this is really good, actually. So we can make Pumpkin King with this. And usually if Keith can't beat your card, he just will just... he'll play a card to his right, and then he'll... Yeah, play a card to his right, and then we'll move, and then he'll move to the left, and then he'll just won't defend himself. Because he thinks you can move over Labyrinth. The AI is that bad. So we'll do this, and then we need to, again, move forward, and then play just anything. Don't think it has to be face up, but I'll play it face up. So he thinks you can move twice. So then he'll just move to the left, and then won't defend himself. Yeah. The AI.
Just like that, you read his mind.
Yeah. So that's a good draw. I got a good card. So when I was so the funny thing is, I got into speedrunning this game because as a kid I used this deck. I was a big zombie player. Pumpkin King was my favourite card because when you put him face up defense mode, every zombie gains 100 attack each turn. And because I didn't know about the AI manipulations and that, I was just chasing these deck leaders around forever. So obviously my cards were getting super strong. But now that I know how to cheese the game, kind of makes it less fun when you're playing it if I ever played it casually again, because it's just I kind of know what I'm meant to be doing. So that was again perfect, best you can do really. So unless I got Great Mammoth and 3 power ups, then I think you get 4k. So I might have been able to would off. Yeah, you get 2 Violet Crystals and a Mega Morph or whatever it's called. That does 300 then 2 500s. So I would have won. That's the only way that could be better, if you can 1 turn 2 turn Keith or 3 turn. But I've only drawn that card once. I've only ever got that. Okay, that's not good. The controller, the analog stick's wasn't registered, so I can't do. What was it, Zoolander? We had a run like that last time with Resident Evil. You can turn left.
You can't turn left.
That's me.
Yeah.
I can't move my camera left, which is a bit annoying. But okay, this is one of those weird ones where I think. Oh, yeah, okay. I think it's a monster card here, and then a spell card to the left or something, and then she'll just move into you. She can also play a card at the back right of her, where every time you attack, you lose half your damage, and it's very annoying. Don't need Dimension Hole anymore. We'll do that. So usually what you want to do is she'll move into you again, and then you'll summon on the wasteland here, and then you can attack her, and then you can just move over and then do attack her on the water. But that's annoying that her monster beat mine. But in the long run it won't matter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play Yami, so I don't have to summon on the wasteland spot. I can just summon well, I might summon to the left of her. I'll see how I feel.
Yeah, the way that we're changing the floor now is beneficial to the monsters that you use in your deck. It allows them to power it up, move twice.
So this is the Great Mammoth card I was talking about. So this is your boss monster. It's the strongest card you can make. The way I do my deck edit, I get rid of the one it comes with the deck because the deck cost of it's too high. So I didn't really explain that when I was doing the passwords. We edit the deck so our deck is under the deck cost. So if your deck cost needs to be lower than your opponent's deck cost. So Pegasus' deck cost is for example 1,200. So you can have an insane deck. But when we do Bakura and Necromancer, they've got really low deck costs. So your deck cost has to be lower than theirs. So that's why we just run with this deck. It's lowest deck cost is 747 or something. So you don't have to ever do the deck edit again after that. And then as I said, Wasteland and Field Spells don't really have a high deck cost because they're just spell cards. No, sorry, 754. So it means we can just, if I got one of them from the other 2 guys, Keith and stuff, I could have used them, but I never. So.
We're going to Newcastle now.
Yeah. Sadly, no Scotland in this game. This is as far as north as we get. But yeah. So obviously, Duelist of Rosie is based off the Rose Wars from 1300, whatever it is. So it's France and England and stuff.
That's like lore, but in real life.
Yeah.
So rather than Yu-Gi-Oh lore, it's using real life lore.
So this is a Lab Breaker. This is one of the cards we want to draw against Mr. Lab Ruler. It means we can destroy the Labyrinth zones and we can move forward and attack him. Because this duel is very, very annoying if you don't draw one of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dump a bunch of cards, and if I get Muka Muka I can win. If I don't, then we're unlucky. But the issue is we have 2 cards, I think, that have 4 deck cost, death stars. And every turn you only gain 3. So we'd have to maybe wait a turn to discard them. That's the only issue. And that becomes annoying when you're trying to, for like these sort of duels, if you're trying to
There he is.
Perfect, really.
Perfect, Muka Muka. That's the little bug-looking guy that we were hoping for. That's when he turns face up. He takes the attack of the strongest monster.
Oh no, that's Green Kappa. This one's the graveyard one.
So it gets attacked for
Every card in the graveyard.
Yeah. So every single card in the graveyard, when Muka Muka gets turned face up, he becomes much stronger. So we just get rid of as many cards as possible. Fill the graveyard is essentially like a discard pile for monsters. So when you see him throwing them, when you see Dean throwing them out of his hand by failing to combine them, that's just done on purpose to make Muka Muka stronger.
Technically, I could have done that the other way around and made another card, so I could have had 1 extra, but that's my own fault. So he won't play a card in front of himself to defend himself, obviously, because that'd be really handy if we can't, just get rid of them. That'd have been quite handy if we could have played the Wasteland after. I mean, I probably could have done that. So basically what happens is eventually when I summon Barrel Rock, it can move twice. So you summon it over one lab and then another lab, and like an L. So it then destroys 2 in front of you. But then obviously when you, I'm trying to think of the words. When
see your brain producing smoke, trying to explain the complex mechanics of this game.
Yeah, so he'll move. If you can't one-hit him, he'll start moving, and he's one of those guys that do defend himself when you do this strategy. So that's why I'm not destroying him yet. The issue is, I'm pretty sure next turn, he's going to move this card. Oh, no. So that card is I think it's from the actual anime, this big spider guy. In this game, he takes 100 damage every time. I can't remember the effect in real life. I have 1 more turn, don't I? Yeah, I've got 1 more turn before I can actually need to. No, let's do this into this. Yeah, that'll do.
So we're just getting rid of as many monsters as possible.
I don't know, again, if I was. Probably should have done some counting, but whatever. Can't be bothered with that. So we have 1 more turn, because that card's going to. That's fine. No, that's not fine. That's really awkward. Because obviously now he's spellbound. How long is he spellbound for? Because I can wait the infinity. Great. So we do have a D-spell, but I don't know if I'm going to draw it.
I think you will heart the cards.
Yeah, I might just attack a monster with Muka Muka and I probably win. That's probably the best way of doing this now.
He's going to be pretty strong at this point because we have thrown away a lot of cards into our graveyard.
It's quite funny how I was like, oh, Curse Breaker. We did draw
told you, heart the cards, I told you.
Don't really. I'm not even going to risk that. Not even going to risk it. Because I could accidentally make. Oh, perfect, we'll win. Cool. I could accidentally make Stone Ghost, or whatever it's called. We'd not won.
Yeah, what he means is you could accidentally combine a card with Muka Muka and it would become a different card, and obviously we wouldn't have that effect anymore.
Yeah, we lose Muka Muka.
Yeah.
And off the top of my head, we actually needed him to attack us there, because that card only had, we did 4,600 damage to him, he had 5,000, he moved that card 3 times, so he actually would have been left with 100, I'm pretty sure. So we actually, it would have been right bang on or not. So we did get the good RNG of the cards, but then the fact that he had a card that gets double movement on Meadow kind of ruined it for us. Who's left? I can't move left. It's really awkward, because it's so much slower when you don't use analog stick.
We're heading down to Exeter.
Yeah. So this is Necromancer. This guy can be a problem because he's the only one that uses full Wasteland pretty much and zombies. So he's basically the same deck as ours, so it's the same vibe. But again, we know what he does. So yeah, this is fine. Just discard a bunch of cards and we'll go. So the minute here is you place this card in front, and then you move the spell to the left, and then sometimes you want to keep. You get if you draw, I think it's Gruesome Ghoul. We have like one Aqua card in the deck. You can place it here, and then it's like quite handy. But if you don't, then it's just kind of you just play any monster. Yeah, we'll win Muka Muka. We'll do that. So Sleepwalker is quite good here as well because he'll attack into it, and then Sleepwalker should beat it because obviously the zombie card is only powered up on Wasteland and Dark. He's moving on Water, and it's probably a weakish card at the start. So he'll move forward here. So you know, oh, he doesn't attack it. Sometimes he does that instead. So what we can do now is we can just move forward. I don't want to mess this up again because I've got these 2 cards and I don't want to risk it. You know what? No, I'm not even going to do it. I'm just do this. Muka Muka will be enough, even with... we won't 1-turn him, but we'll just 2-turn him, so it doesn't matter. Would it have been enough? No, it wouldn't have been. Doing this is fine. It wouldn't have been enough anyway. We would only have discarded 3 more cards, and now they only had 3,200 or something. So.
Again, you risked combining Muka Muka with one of those cards, and.
But you might be thinking, he's defended himself. He's put a card in front of him. Well, watch what he does. Please do it. He moves out the way from me. Thank you. So I just now get to move forward and win. Like, cheers. Thanks. The AI in this game is so bad. Like once you actually like know the run and like know all the it just ruins it for you.
When you first play this game, it's really hard.
Yeah.
I think this came out in like an era where games could be like you could buy a game and it would be so easy, and then you buy a game like this and it feels exceptionally difficult.
Yeah. So we could have got a Violet Crystal, and that's one of the examples where you could deck edit it in, and it'd be kind of useful. Because obviously we have for against Necromancer we have like 40 deck cost.
Do we have a moment for a few words?
Yeah. Sorry, Tim. I totally forgot about you, mate.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
This is the best time, actually.
I've been sitting here looking at this and just going, wow, this is crazy. Okay, thank you very much, folks. I hope you are enjoying. You're watching UKSG Red. Coming to you live from Glasgow, Scotland. 3,166 raised for Crisis. Please get those donations in. We would also like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing gear and technical assistance. ESA Winter 2023 is right around the corner on the 18th to 25th of February. So tune in on this channel on those days to check it out. And I happen to know that some of the runners we've had this weekend will be appearing again at ESA Winter. So please be sure to check it out. Thank you very much. Back to the run.
Thank you. So that was a terrible hand. I'll just get rid of this card. I don't really care. Richard, he uses like warrior cards. So this Meadow, he gets double movement. That's good actually, because if I want to get rid of this monster, that's most likely like a bottomless trap hole, which destroys your card. Fuel spell. This works as well. So Great Mammoth here. Really, even though we don't have a dark, 2700. If he now, the AI do have the rules of deck cost as well. Oh, sorry, stars. So he has enough stars to do summon a big beater, but he's not doing it thankfully. So he might do it this turn. So we're gonna try it and get rid of this. Yep. Oh, is it not? What is it? That's a trap hole. It was one of the trap holes. Destroys my monster. I'll move my mammoth forward. Hopefully attacks into it. We really need a field spell. Didn't get one. We're going to discard my full hand and then play Okaza. That does, this spell card deals 500 damage. Is it Okazaki, whatever it is? Yeah.
It's ideal when none of them fuse, right? Because the fuse takes longer than simply discarding it. So you try not, even when you're discarding, you try to get none of them to fuse together.
So as I said, sometimes you want the fuse, Muka Muka. Sometimes you don't want the fuse. So obviously he's not moving his deck leader. He thinks he can beat my card. He probably can, because he's got power up on the right. So I'm pretty sure he'll just win. Obviously my card loses 500 damage when he moves to Milton, because cards have a negative effect as well, like with the field spells. We got a field spell, lovely. We won't win though, because it only does 500, so it's going to get 3,200. The joys. Always 100 off.
100 life points, yeah.
And also the monster I drew that can move twice is four stars, and we only had 3, so we can't do that. So we'll just do this turn. Issue is he might defend himself if he moves to his left, because then we can't attack. Oh, perfect, cool. And didn't even defend himself, attempt to do it. Oh, see there, was that not the card he powered up? So he powered up a card that's like 500 damage because then he powered up probably, and then the field spell gives him 500 more. But yeah, that was a.
But yeah, good fight. Yeah, he could have done a lot more to defend against us there,
Yeah.
but just decided not to, I guess.
As you say, like if I didn't draw a Great Mammoth for that power up, his card was at like 2,500 or something, so I would have lost. And then you're kind of waiting for a field spell or Dimension Hole, which I drew too late. So now we're coming up to the worst duel. It can be the best one or the worst one. Coming up to Settle. This is just pure RNG. Like this could break us not losing because we do have to surrender. So this is when the plot of the game's happening. Basically, once Richard's defeated, Pegasus comes and he like betrays them, which is kind of funny because it's just Pegasus stuff.
Yeah, if you watch the anime, that's pretty much in line with his character.
Yeah. So, from when I play the game, when I learned speedrunning, I didn't read all this. I feel like when we win a duel, it's also like a battle, like an actual battle.
Yeah, with armies.
Yeah, because I'm about to see it here. Like it's actually a big battle, which I find quite funny. It's like they let you play a card game first, and then they're like, "Oh, now we'll do the battle." You know, it's like also in the anime, it's like darts, for example. I'm going to take over the world, but I must beat you in this card game first. It's like cool. So yeah, this is again, sadly, PS2 game, no voice acting, so just spamming A, which is kind of good. This game take forever.
I mean, for its era as well, this game just felt completely unique to everything else that was around as well.
It's one of those, I feel like it's one of those gimmick Yu-Gi-Oh games that isn't bad. Like, Capsule Monsters is like 3-4 hours long, like speedrun, it takes forever. If you're playing that casually, it's like meh. And then I feel like the Dungeon Dice Monsters game, I never played it, so that's probably decent. But I feel like this is like, I bet a nice change. It's still technically Yu-Gi-Oh! It's still like you're playing cards and stuff, but it's not actually like just 5 field. Unlike other games, like for memories, kind of still has the classic like 5 spells and traps, 5 monster zones. What do we draw? Oh, okay, this is really good actually. So the monster cards we drew were a bit meh. However, we drew Dimension Hole. So this is quite good because now he's gonna move to his right, and what we can do is now play Dimension Hole and summon on that meadow spot and attack him. Issue with this strategy is, of course, we're gonna face tank a hit from him. I also need to get the field spell down somehow, because obviously my monsters can't attack, can't move twice. So we'll see what happens. The issue is now, also obviously he'll move to his right, and we can summon top right and attack him again, but we won't have enough damage unless we draw a really good card here. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be left with 400 unless we can get something that'll power it up.
It's 1100. Okay, so we could attack him directly and then just attack that card if we get lucky with our draw. So like a Slate Ball right here would be nice. King Tiger would work as well. Okay. That is not good. We'll just do this. So actually make Zombie Warrior, and then we power up. Yeah. Cool.
So I assume with that power-up card, you can't play it onto a monster that's already on the
Oh, you can. So I could have gave it to Pumpkin King, but I can only move once. So.
Oh, so he wouldn't be able to reach him. Yeah, I see.
So the issue now we have is because I don't have the field spell down, Settle's just going to run away, which is an issue. So I want to now get to the other side of the field. So Destiny Draw. So the bosses of the game have a Destiny Draw. I cannot remember what that is. I don't know. I don't think it's Blue Eyes. So you'd think one would be Blue Eyes, one would be Dark Magician for Yugi, but I don't think it is. So here we can. I could have played the field spell and then attacked him directly, but we just win with this anyway, so that works. And also with the spellbound effects, it's not actually on the cards. Like actual, it doesn't say. Some cards have that, so it'd be like, oh, if you destroy this, it gets spellbound. Sometimes it's also just like the way the attributes work. If you attack into like a bad attribute, that's why you saw them flash in there.
Do we have a second for a donation?
Yeah, on you go.
Okay, thank you very much. We have received $33.44 from, hey all, your friendly neighborhood Paulister here.
Ah, hey, Paul.
With this donation, UKSG Red 2023 should have the third highest donation total of all UKSGs. But let's not stop there. Let's get that 4,000. And with that, we're at 3,200. Only 800 to go to get to $4,000 raised for Crisis. Please, please. Oh.
It crashed.
Oh.
We have a fix. We can fix something here. So, thankfully, we technically were... Wait, where do we put this again? Oh, it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that one.
That's why you just buy the console, kids. So, because we're at the end of... The sizing's going to be all wrong. We can maybe fix that. We'll do this. So, because we're at the end of the game, technically we're gonna miss one duel, but thankfully we can just load the game again and do the other side. So we've only missed one duel. So technically it's not too bad because we have to watch the credits anyway. So imagine this is the credits. No, we're gonna move it. I'll just gauge it off my screen. Is that good? Yep. Cool. But also we may have music. Maybe not. We have music. Worth it. So what we're going to do now is, so if we had done that last duel, we could have just continued and saved the game. That's what happens. You do the credits, you continue, save the game, do the other side. So this is the screen I didn't want to show you, this whole intro scene. So this might take a while, but because we have music, it'll actually load longer. But as I said, on Emulator, technically you have to, for like a submission on speedrun.com, you have to watch the credits. And that's what I usually do in marathons. What you technically could do is just reload the emulator and click continue, and then that's what you do on console. So on console, the minute you save the game after defeating MFL, which is like, if you remember the big bad guy from Forbidden Memories, it's him. I can't say his name, it's so long. So we just call them by you do two different MFLs for like each side, and like you just call them by their deck leader. So one's Skull Knight, one's another one. But so we duel him. We'd have played him. I think that's the easier one. He's on like crush zone. You can just do it easy. So we call ourselves A. And then you do that. So
before the game crashed, we did one half of the game, and
Yeah.
now we're going to go back in a new game and do the other half
Yes.
of the game. And we had those two together, and we get one full speed run.
the only one, the issue is I need to do the deck edit all over again.
I'm going to have to remember those passwords.
Yeah. So that's one issue with obviously with sound. When there's no music, the game can crash, and it just had to crash exactly as we're about to finish one side, which is annoying. Because as I say, once you save the game, you just turn the console off, reboot the console, and then you just click continue, and it'll take you straight to the side selection screen, or you get a little bit of text, and then they'll be like, don't choose, when he's like, don't choose Seto, and he's like, Seto's like, come with me. You can't even choose the other side, and then you just go straight into like choose side with Seto, and you just do the other side of the game. So we missed one duel, which is kind of annoying, but
We missed one duel, but we do get to put in all the passwords again,
Yeah.
so you know it kind of works out.
yeah, technically, we'll just say that adds up.
Yeah, I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah, it's so annoying. We're literally one duel away from a save. It would have then been fine, but
This is the most marathon thing that can ever happen.
Yeah.
is your game crashing. All anything that can go wrong in a run will go wrong in a run at marathon.
it was more fun as well because we had the donation, and I'm just like showing the camera. I'm just like, oh, I'm just mashing his X button so much, and I just see it stop on my screen. I'm like, oh no.
But at least we get all the lore as well.
Yeah, because obviously I don't show you guys this.
I'm sure everyone. I mean, I'm following this perfectly. This makes complete sense to me.
We'll change it now to, because we saw the start, we'll change it to a side percent now. So we'll whatever Seto's called, we'll call it his percent. And then there's also like you can upload them. So we'll do it that way because obviously go to deck edit and that as well. So
Seto Kai looks so metal in this game.
Yeah.
Look at that armor. What is that? Even?
yeah, it's a blue eyes shield thing.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't watch this for marathon runs. Obviously, console players have to watch this, and then now on the rules, emulator need to watch this as well. So it just takes forever, as you can see.
I think Konami might have heard that we were skipping the lore
Yeah.
and crashed us, so
Yeah.
we have to.
I'm always like, when I first ran this game, I didn't mention the fact that like you finish one side, you watch the credits, and you go again. So obviously everybody was like, how are we done like an hour early? Everybody was like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, we switched rhythms. So yeah, this is actually the shorter side, but well, I don't know if you do it anymore because I've seen other people do it the other way around. But I think because the time ends on like because obviously, so when you're splitting the game, we split it as when it comes up you win, you press X. So that's when the final duel. That's when you do it. So the cutscene at the end of the game is like less, like shorter on this side. No, yeah, so that's how you do it. Can't believe we're doing this again. And I've messed up. Oh no. I have not done this right. What did I miss? It's quite easy to find what you've missed. Give me a second. Shadow Ghoul. Yeah, that was it. Sankey, Lizard, Skullbird. Oh, this is brutal. You know what? You know what I'm going to do actually? Just the run's chalked, right? It's chalked anyway. I'm just going to put them all back in and then do it that way. I don't think they go in the order they're meant to, but we just throw them back in and then I'll figure it from there. Do they go in the order? I see. They don't. Okay, no, they do. Basic Insect, Goalkeeper, Skip That, Death Magician, Stone Ghost. There we go. Good work. Oh, this is so funny. So that's one of those things, like, if you just mess up your deck edit, back in the day on Emulator, you could just reload the save state, and then just, like, you'd rewrite the side selection screen, and you just, like, go again, but now, because of the whole, like, you've got to watch all the intros, I feel like most time you want to try and save a bad deck edit. Yeah. Don't want to talk about it because we're just doing the exact same thing. But usually, didn't expect to be doing this twice today, but here we are.
While you're doing that, do you mind if I chip in with a few words?
Yeah, on you go.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. You are watching United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering, a 2-day speedrunning marathon that's coming to you live from Glasgow, Scotland. We are raising money to support Crisis, who are a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training and support with housing, employment and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis and 10% will go towards UKSG's future events. We would also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands and have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past events, among other things. Their next regular event will be announced in the near future, so please follow them on @BSGMarathon on Twitter and on bsgmarathon.com to stay up to date on the amazing Benelux community's next steps. And if any of you watching now are interested in finding out about other marathons or submitting to UKSG in the future, don't forget to check out oengus.com, where you can find information about upcoming marathons, the games being played, schedules, and more. How are we doing? Do you want me to continue, or are you good?
I'm not. I mean, you can do.
You can go for it.
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
Anyway.
Right. So, do you want to support future UKSG events? Part of the revenue from cheers, subs and ad revenue is going towards BSG. So we welcome all your contributions towards helping UKSG become bigger and better. And again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have enjoyed the marathon so far. Obviously, we're still working our way through the deck building here. Once we've got this sorted, we'll have our next runs coming up. So please stay tuned. Plenty of stuff still to come. And yeah, I think we're just about ready with this. So I'll shut up for just now and let you carry on. Okay.
So what we'd said at the start is we knew there was no music, and I was like, so we had set up everything, like all the cropping and stuff, and I was just like, I would just go for it. It should be fine. It was not fine.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how this is like 5 years ago at my first UKSG event. I was just listening to Tim there, and I was doing my first run, and you came and did commentary for me.
Yeah.
2018, and Tim was reading donations, and now 5 years later,
Here we are.
I'm doing commentary for you, and Tim's with us as well.
At least you kind of know this game. I just came in having no idea about Metal
You
Gear.
brought a notebook. I didn't even bring notes.
That's right, cool. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, so you're doing this glitch? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, cool, I'm being useful. No, it's just, at least I know that next time I've ever run this, it's just like, once the music stops, just reboot the emulator. We're all taking us like 2 seconds. Ah well.
I just think the password bit is so good. I'm so glad we got to see it twice.
Got 33
Alright,
minutes,
we're back.
fine.
We're dueling.
So this duel, you can check your hand to see if you've got Dimension Hole. Most of the time it's just better to actually just move forward straight away and not actually summon anything the first turn. Just so she does this, and then you just move forward and you start just... Every time. You're like, oh, I'm not going to check my hand. I might have Dimension Hole. What did I draw? Dimension Hole. I don't think there's a point even playing it now. I may as well just use the Wasteland and then just summon next turn and attack her directly. My monster would get there anyway instead of Dimension Hole and then doing that. And then obviously, because she's on a mountain, my zombie would do less damage. So it's probably just better doing this. But that's the... It's one of those things. I cursed myself. I was like, I'm not going to check my hand this time. Should I check my hand? Oh, yes, actually. No. Yeah, we'll do this. And then we'll move earlier.
I love this. Every single time the deck comes up, it's like you take a second to like process all the
Yeah.
cards and then work out whether it's a good hand or not.
Yeah. I mean, I said I wasn't going to play Mookamother. I played it anyway. Because it's got like absolutely no damage because of the way I've done this. So what happened there is usually Taya will always play a card to her right. The card to the right, she moved to the middle, she'll keep playing forward, but because I didn't have anything in front of me because I played Wasteland, I kind of ruined it for myself. So that's my own fault. But here she's not defending herself. Probably can, she might be able to, she can't get past that monster. The issue is she has a monster there, and because my deck leader is too far away, I can't summon. So what you can do in this game, if my deck leader was closer, I could summon over Mookamother, attack her again. Can't do that, so what we're going to do is we're just going to beat the monster to her right, just in case she defends herself. Then we should win. What has that done? What are these cards? Cool, defense mode, cool, okay too. Doesn't defend itself anyway. Okay, cool. That's fine. That is really annoying. That's like one of the easiest duels as well. I was too annoyed at not checking my hand for Dimension. I was like, oh, Wasteland should be fine here. Wait, what? Oh, obviously I thought it stayed in defense mode. I was like, so yeah, that's me. And I'm pretty sure the card she destroyed, I killed and brought back, takes from my graveyard, because that's my zombie warrior, and she doesn't use a zombie deck. It's one of those things like, because you do the same thing, if you get me, like, because you do the same speedrun strategy over and over, you don't really see their decks. And I feel like, I don't know if it's some duels and some aren't, I feel like some have a programmed hand. So I feel like they always do the exact, as I say, they do the exact same thing. Like there, she'll always play to the right, move forward, and I don't know if it's always the same monsters or if it's just any monster she summons.
Can we get a donation in here?
Yeah, on you go.
Okay, thank you very much. We have received $10 without any comment from Beardy Dave. But thank you very much indeed for your contribution towards Crisis.
Nice, thank you. So Tristan's got like a really high deck cost, but his deck's terrible. I don't know why. It just is. Like his field is so weird as well. It's just a bunch of different random ones in a line. That is kind of brutal. Just use Jammy. So you want a zombie monster to make Great Mammoth, we didn't draw one. So what we're going to try and do now is get this field spell as close to him as possible so I can activate it on one of those normal spots so we can do more damage directly. We have an issue obviously where he might attack the card, so because against Tristan you sometimes leave it face down, a monster, so that he'll just attack into you and then you can attack him directly. We got a zombie, nice. So let's see if he does it. He might not be able to because we've changed the field zone, so he might not be able to flip summon and attack us. But if you notice, they click through, so he can do that. We play the card in front of him, so he blocks himself. But the deck leader usually locks himself in first, so now he'll move his card, and then now it'll change. While if he didn't lock himself in first, he could have moved away, but the AI locks himself in for some reason. I'll call it locking it in, but like technically selecting your guy. And I'll just play Green Kappa to win here. This is the one that takes the highest attack, so it'll just affect, it'll copy Great Mammoth, and then we'll do that. So.
He's dual.
Yeah, so that's why this side's easy and hard, because obviously in the anime, like Tristan, Taya, Joey, like Joey wins duels, but his deck's not good. So in this, it's just easy. Like they don't have really good high monsters, while other duels are like they have high, like strong monsters you've got to try and beat. When we get to my Nil, or is it Joey Ness? One of them. It's really awkward because obviously the full zone's mountain because obviously it's all harpies, and her winged beast cards are like insanely strong. And it's really hard to get past them if you don't get a field spell down. This one can cause trouble because she can move twice as well, and she does defend herself. But you move her to trap herself in a corner because there's wasteland on the right, so you try and get her in that corner, and then it's easier to attack her.
I'm actually glad we got the music. We were missing out.
Yeah, the music. Yeah, it's good soundtrack. I really enjoy it. So, best plan here is I'm just gonna play Slate Warrior in front of me. She'll move away, and then she'll probably attack it with like a strong winged beast, and it'll die. Or my card might die, and then the Crush's Zone will kill that. That's probably the best idea at the moment. If I got Dimension Hole or Field Spell, would be very nice. We did not.
We did not.
This is kind of awkward because the deck cost thing. But we'll just do this, and then we'll probably move over this, destroy it, and then hopefully get a good card. So she'll move away now, hopefully. Yep, cool. And she'll attack that. Okay, we won, nice.
It's ideal because Slate Warrior is pretty like high base attack.
Also helps that means we do more damage to her, so if we do draw Muka Muka, we have a higher chance of just one-hitting her. This is just really brutal. Just not getting anything. Just play Okazaki. Yeah. I actually wanted to play that behind me, just have as a fail-safe in case we didn't do enough damage to her. But I accidentally did that, but she's not summoned in front of me, so it's not that big a deal. Just try and lock her in it. Oh my god, come on. Yeah, so finally, but we're not getting any zombies. Oh, I don't know what to do. Do this. So I want to keep my deck costing just in case I get a zombie so I can play the plant one. Because if I got rid of it, I couldn't. You know what? May as well activate this now, just get out of the way. So sadly, Slate Warrior doesn't get any bonuses because he's not on Crush. So we just kind of hope that she. Also, because she's now in that corner of the map, like we have so much, we'll probably beat her if we draw a monster. We just not drawing anything at the moment. I should move closer to me, even perfect. Nice. I don't need a move to attack her now. Ooh, okay. This, it's this, it's this. So what we do here to make sure we don't. So here, this zombie monster is like a big, strong zombie. So if you use a weak zombie, Muka Muka will become like Stone Ghost or Stone Ghoul or something. But because we used a high zombie monster, it won't make a weaker one if you get me.
Yeah.
So that worked out perfect actually. We got Muka Muka.
Yeah, got a good hand in the end. Like,
yeah.
Right at the end there.
Took like 6 turns. So now we have Mako. I think. Yeah, you have to duel on the water. So this, obviously, when you're playing for Yugi, you're technically attacking England. When you Cyber Settle, you're like invading France. So you work your way around. And also, if you've noticed, this is a linear duel like structure. So like it's one duel and then another one, while like the other one I could pick who I wanted to duel. This one's like you have to do it like in the order they give you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying I didn't copy and paste the emulator I use like at my house, like has the save setups, because I have a save where it shows you like I have like one for like practice. I was like I've just completed the game. And it's just got all. So when you complete the game, when you load the game up, it has all the completed duels. So I obviously could have just loaded that up, did the duel we missed, and then called time there. Can't do that because I'm running on like one of the emulator I used like when I first ran this like at UKSG like 5 years ago, as we said, and that didn't have it. Oh, it might do. I'll just attempt to load a save, and it won't work, because we didn't do any, but you never know. Definitely won't, but... yeah, so obviously he's on water. Perfect. Things you love to see. Also, Drew, John Grissom Goo is actually quite nice against him. You actually want to draw that and play it on the left, and then rush him, so then he'll move down. But obviously we didn't get that. Positive thing is, his water monster can't beat my Great Mammoth, so if he attacks it, he's going to move into me, that's fine. Issue with Mako is he has cards if they're destroyed or they are... I'll use King Tiger here. If they are flipped, they turn spaces into aqua, so that can be kind of annoying, counterproductive. Cool.
We want to get rid of the sea tiles, basically,
Yeah,
and replace them
much,
with land that'll make our monsters stronger.
No, he's on water now, so most likely his card is going to attack me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Great Mammoth. Now he can't move twice. I'm going to move my deck leader. I can't move my deck leader to the right because he's summoned in front of me, but I'm going to destroy his card with this. No, I don't know if it's Forest or Meadow this guy gets powered up on. Because if you see that we don't have enough damage yet, which is annoying. I can't defend myself anyway. So just G-Ho so we can win, so we can summon over. That's actually a really good draw, sort of taking damage off him and wasted time. Because now I can just summon in the space he just left, if King Tiger doesn't win, which I don't think it will. Nice. I'm glad at least we got a show off Settle. Like, Settle's kind of like the fun one to do if you get the good RNG. Kind of wish I didn't get Dimensional and I just used the strategy where it's like, you just sometimes, so if you have a monster over 1600, you flip it up and he'll move into you. Or he might do. If he doesn't, you just reload it until he does. Or if you draw, or if it's under 1600, you play it in front, like just face down in front. And sometimes it just move into you, and you're just like, why? It's like, I don't know why the AI is programmed. It doesn't do it all the time. It's like, unlike Keith, where he doesn't defend himself. That always happens. Settle just sometimes doesn't move forward, or does move forward, and it's like such a weird, like, why it's programmed like that, but other like other AI are programmed the other way.
It's fascinating to see how it all works.
Yeah.
Under the hood.
There's obviously probably people in the scene who have really delved deep into it and stuff, because obviously we know how to do this. I just couldn't imagine. Somebody probably sat and tested all this.
They're my favourite people in speedrunning.
Yeah.
Like, I think it takes a certain type of person to go out and look into games like that, and yeah, it's always impressive to see what those people come up with. They're like the unspoken heroes of speedrunning.
Especially like, well, I'll use like Resident Evil 2 for example, when like somebody figured out, like, for example, like the knife is like insane at like 500 FPS and it like breaks instantly, or if Mr. X or a zombie grabbed you on stairs, you then, you know, like get out of bounds and stuff, and it's the most random thing ever. Do you leave this card face down? You might leave this card. I might have done the minute for wrong. Usually just moves into you. Oh well.
I'm gonna have to chase him down now.
Yeah. I mean, that's my own fault, isn't it? Okay. This makes it a lot easier if I get this. I'll just discard more cards for good old Muka Muka. That's why you just usually you just play in front and then he moves down one. So like you get Great Mammoth to be like right at the top, and then he'll move down one square, and then you can attack him, and then you attack him with a card in front. Unless I just got bad RNG. It's one of those, like, I can't remember what happens because it's been a while since like he's done bad RNG. But he moved into me now, so I might not even need to attack him with Great Mammoth. I'll just play Muka Muka and hope for the best. It'd be so awkward. Oh, I couldn't do it anyway because I have to waste a turn for playing Wasteland. Nah, I would not want my Wasteland up anyway, that's fine. And we just attack with Great Mammoth and we'll win, so bit longer, but it took 4 turns. Usually
It
takes
seemed
3.
pretty quick to me, mate. It
Yeah.
seemed pretty quick to me.
Most of the time, the mistakes I make here, it's like it just takes an extra turn. So obviously that's like 30 seconds. But like when you're proper going for like runs, you know, it's not
Reset
good.
hell.
Yeah, yeah. The issue with my PB at the moment is my time saves at the start of the game. So you get all this time save, and you're like, oh, I'm minus a minute, and then you get to the second half, and it's just like goal split. You've got to try and race against. I'm just like, oh my god. Like the final duel is I drew like 2 cards to make Great Mammoth and then 3 power-ups and on a dark zone, so he had 4,000. So that's the perfect hand that you'll probably get never again, like 0.1% or whatever the percentage, and it's like I drew that in the final boss on my PB. So it's like when I get to that, it's just like the goal split, and I'm just like, oh, it's like brutal to ever like try and run against when ever get to the end of the game. Okay, this works. Yeah, cool, let's do that. Probably want to summon Muka Muka on the Wasteland, but we'll just summon it now. He might attack it.
Well, he might regret it because we've just thrown away 4 monster cards, so he's
Yeah.
going to be pretty strong already.
So he usually plays a card there. Like it's usually might be like Thunder Yang Yang, whatever it's called. And oh, okay, perfect. We got a really good card here. We'll get him to move. We'll get him to move into us. We'll also just discard a bunch of cards here. So this is going to be like a fusion. So that's 3 cards deleted. And then another 3 now, because another fusion. So that's 6. So that's 1,800 already, like powered up.
Yeah, because when we're discarding them, it's the 2 cards and the one it fused into, so it becomes even stronger.
If you discard the fusion, yeah. So now obviously I want to Muka Muka in the Wasteland Zone now so I can attack him. Or is he going to block him? He might block it. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Slate Warrior will just attack twice. Will move twice, and because it's still on the Crush Zone, if he doesn't defend himself next turn, we'll still win. So I probably won't actually play any more cards. I'll just move this here and then see what he does. If he defends himself, then that'd be awkward. Perfect. Cool. That is annoying.
Yeah, so he gets to escape for just for a little bit longer. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, because if I had my deck leader where I wanted them, I could have moved them here, summoned here, and then attacked. Oh, why did I do this to myself? Well, you know, just flip summon Muka Muka now. And then we'll just move here. And then if I have another card. Oh, I've actually not explained if duels are going really bad. If you lock the enemy deck leader in a corner, so say if he moves back, right? Yeah. Will I just show it off? They'll surrender. I mean, they just surrender. So say if I just trapped him in this corner and he couldn't summon anywhere, he would just surrender. I think even if he has monsters on the field, he would just instant surrender, which is quite good against like Mai, for example. If you can get her like trapped in a corner, she sometimes just rage quit.
I like that the AI can rage quit. That's
yeah.
pretty funny.
There's like, oh, you've got me in a corner. Oh well. Because technically you would eventually win anyway, so. Let's see if we can do this. So if you actually, okay, so again, if you got like another dimension hole, that'd be a good one to put in your deck edit if you wanted to quickly do it. I'm not, obviously, from my memory of the passwords and stuff, not the notes in front of me, the memory. I probably should add like one of those, like have other like cards to get rid of if I get a good card from the slot machine, just so I know quickly instead of like, because right now, say if I got one, I wouldn't know what one to discard. Okay, so this is the most annoying duel in the game. He is obviously Grandpa, so he has his win is like stalling you. I'm pretty sure he can like Zodia you, which is like really unlucky. So we need to draw a Lab Breaker. So my deck edit only runs 2. Other deck edits run 3. So what you do is you basically just discard a bunch of cards until you draw it. One of them is 4 stars, one is 3. So obviously, if you draw a 4-star monster, so if let's see for example, did I draw one? No.
Yeah, so Grandpa actually has Exodia, right? He has all the cards for Exodia. Yeah. If you don't know, if you get all the pieces of Exodia, you instantly win the duel.
Yeah.
So he can do that.
Yeah.
which is really unlucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can do that.
Probably shouldn't keep Mooka Mooka in my hand. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for. Okay. Oh, you know what? We'll just get rid of everything. We'll figure out a win somehow. So now I've got 0 stars. So say if I drew, for example, now Slate Warrior, King Tiger, and then a bunch of 3-star monsters. I've got to discard those 3-star monsters, but I can't get rid of the 2 4-stars in my hand. I'm only discarding 3 instead of 5, and it slows down your way of getting your lab breaker out. And that's both my king, oh, I don't know, it's going to be quite annoying. I mean, I could have maybe played like a dimension hole at the top, like top right, and then moved it slowly, but that just wastes time as well. May as well just do it this way.
Yeah, so the big, I don't even know how to describe them. They look kind of like walls.
Yeah.
You can't go through them. So we need something that will take over that piece. Like we need to change the land there so we can move through it.
Also, because he's basically only summoning Exodia in those spots, the cards are. So it's an issue and it's a blessing. So they're weak defense monsters, but the issue is one of your lab breakers they don't have enough damage. The one has 1,000 and his defense is 1,100. It's quite unlucky. If I'm like, did I even put these in my deck? Did I discard them already? Like, this is horrendous.
Yeah. Considering how often we've drawn those land cards, like throughout this run as well. Like this is the first time we're not seeing them.
You get a draw at like first turn against the other lab guy, and then this time you're just not getting it. And then obviously the longer it takes, the more cards he moves, and now he sets up a better defense. Because obviously I could have just summoned over the lab breaker. There we go. And we got Slate Warrior. That'll do. Machine into Zombie won't do anything. Yeah, cool. Perfect, right. And now what I can do is, if I get a zombie, I can just summon my top left, so his top right, and then move twice. Because Slate Warrior can't move twice on Dark, so it's probably easier just to have a card that can move twice. You sometimes trap yourself in a corner as well when you like attack.
Also, the longer this game goes on as well, the more cards he's putting down, so the longer his turn will take each turn as well.
Oh, this is kind of annoying. I'm going to have to attack him a lot with Zombie Warrior, like 3 times.
Well, we finally got to him, started hitting him, so...
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying that I've dumped all my good monsters. That's fine. Yeah, so most of the time he won't beat your monsters, and then we just go watch him click all his cards again, which is kind of annoying. Please don't defend yourself. Oh, but why though?
Oh, does it take one more turn longer?
Now, thankfully, I can just move down and then just summon over Zombie Warrior. But it's just it's the effort, isn't it? It's like, but why?
Good game, good fight.
Yeah, got there in the end. It only took 4 minutes. Also, as I was talking about my PB, I first turn drew a Lab Breaker. So again, when I get to this part, like for this example, that just killed my run. Even if I'm like minus a minute, I'm still like, I'll just lose 4 minutes. So.
Hey, you chose to play the cruel RNG game.
Yeah, I know, it's my own fault. Then again, it's either cruel RNG game or 8 hours of my life on Forbidden Memories. Even if you have 15 card mod, you can still get, you know...
Extremely unfortunate.
Yeah, with the last duel. If you don't draw your Thunder Dragons, and he draws like something crazy. So obviously in Forbidden Memories, you can just summon a card straight away. It doesn't matter what the deck... Like, it's not like real Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like you have to tribute, you just summon like a 4,000 monster straight away. Even though I don't know what's happening when I watch that game anyway. There's like sun and moon and stuff, I'm like, what is going on?
I haven't played the card game in a long time, so...
Oh, no,
I
Forbidden
don't
Memories
know.
is just... It's one of those like... I'd probably never get into it.
I was definitely more into the video games.
Now you might be thinking, why am I discarding Muka Muka? Bakura's deck leader's ability is like it instant destroys rock and something else. So like if I played Muka Muka and tried to attack him, I would just instant delete it. But obviously here we have Slate Warrior, so I'm pretty sure he just, if I leave this, I don't know if I do this wrong. Yeah, so I think you have to attack him then chase him. I always for some reason forget he doesn't just move forward into you because you're so used to the AI just ending. So what we'll do is we'll just flip some in and then we'll defeat him next 2 turns. Only issue is he has a card that gives him 50 life points every time. It's a bit annoying. Because there's another time, like even though it's a couple seconds, obviously they add up in a speed run. When
Certainly do.
You've got to waste the LP recovery and it's like. And that's also how I was talking about certain deck. I feel like certain duelists have like a preset 5 cards in their hand. He plays it for turn 1 every time. Every time it's always on the field. So sometimes they have like certain hands they play.
Much easier to keep track of if they're going to do the same turn every single time when you're playing through the game so many times.
Yeah. As I say, other duelists don't. They're very random what they do.
So it was a nice fight.
Yeah, got there in the end. Slaybar is really good for that. Could have done it a turn earlier, but it doesn't really matter. Now, if it's not Yugi next, we might be overestimate just a little bit. But that's kind of probably expected when you crash the game and have to do a 5-minute deck in it twice. Yeah.
2 password screens.
Yeah. If it's Yugi, we might get just under. I think it is Yugi. Then we have the MFL guy, and then that's it. So unlike on Settle side, where once you got the Rose cards, you have to then duel Richard and then Settle. You get last one off Richard, then you've got to duel Settle, and then you've got. Feels like you just keep doing these random duels. You just duel Yugi here. Once you beat Yugi, you go to Stonehenge, and then you just duel MFL. Yeah, 6 minutes, 3 minutes on each. And again, the MFL where we duel this is one with the Dark Zone as I was talking about. So I could get lucky and draw like a really good monster, but most of the time. It's kind of bad. Okay, I did get a Lab Breaker, so we'll just get a field spell out and try and turn that Crushing Tune into dark so we can attack him easier. So, well, you never got saw it because we didn't duel them, but the MFL guys have a card that like takes your life points and then gives them power. So they'll take like half your life points and power up their own card. So they end up getting like these insane high monsters, which is like really annoying. Dimension Hole? Oh, why? I'll keep the power up. So obviously Dimension Hole means I can get around this labyrinth spot quicker, but sadly not. So
if you move onto your own card, it just kind of removes it.
Yeah.
Right.
And if he moves over my spell card while it's face up, like if he had a face up card, it would just like destroy it. If he had a face down card, I wouldn't reveal his card, he would just move over it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm tempted to I'll do this. This zombie warrior will have 2200. I'll move it in front. So obviously I could flip someone and attack it, but because it's on water, it'll lose attack. So we're hoping he attacks into us.
So the field, the zone is whatever's being attacked. So now, that's more beneficial than you attacking it. It's better if it attacks you.
I mean, I would have still beat the card, but it does more damage to him now. You would probably want to. This is just annoying. So obviously I need to get beat. I need to destroy his face down. Nice. Yeah, you know what? I was tempted to try and get the Wasteland down and wait another turn for Muka Muka for the double movement. But what I'll do is I'll play it here, then play Wasteland, and then it gets a double movement anyway. Unless he defends himself. Perfect. Sometimes he moves to the right and it's very annoying, but when he moves to his left, it's quite nice. So what we can do now is we can just... perfect, another card to discard as well, 3 monsters. We'll play the Wasteland, activate it on the right hand side, so it will go over his deck leader as well, and then we can do more damage. So obviously if I didn't do that, he'd still be on water, and then we'd lose 500.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
we definitely killed him there.
Oh yeah. Defeated Yugi. It's mad when you think about like Seto can summon Blue Eyes like straight away pretty much and has like 3,000 damage. And Yugi is like the deck is terrible. I don't know why it's so bad, it's just horrendous. So coming up to the last one. So we're saying the second deck edit was how long the other duel would have taken. So not bad, not bad. I would have maybe like timed this side separate just to check if it was like good, but I know it won't be because of how long the grandpa took. If that was like decent, I might have been actually have timed it just to see where it was, but not that point. So we're back at Stonehenge. Yeah, so I didn't really explain the plot. They summon you to like from the past. Like so you weren't born in the 1300s. You're like now, and they just send you back in time to like do this for them. Collect all the rose cards for some reason, because you're like the legendary duelist or something. You get sent back in time. I don't know how they do
So
it.
we're a legendary duelist in the present, and they sent us back to the 1300s
Yeah.
to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes. And
Got it. Completely up to
duel
date.
people while they have battles for a card to summon these guys. Do you want to pronounce that, or do you want to say MFL?
Yeah.
Man, somebody played Forbidden Memories, they probably would not pronounce it. I don't. That is insane.
It's Welsh, right?
Yeah, it must be. It's like that town name. That's what it looks like. Right, minute and a half, here we go. Heart of the cards.
Part of the cards. Minute and a half. We can do this. This is the final duel.
You want a card that usually moves twice. But I'm gonna do a master plan, right? The master plan is
Throw all the cards away.
Yes.
Throw as many monsters away as possible.
Yes.
And
win.
And hope that we have a really good monster on the deck for when this goes face up as well, because it'll take the strongest monster on the field.
I think that card's that stone one, and he basically gets to summon. Oh, we got Great Mammoth as well. That'd have been quite handy to have. We'll win with Muka Muka. So what my plan is
throw as many monsters away as possible.
And he attacks Green Kappa with his own strong monster. They both bounce each other, and then I can win with Muka Muka. Yeah, just casually summoning like Summon Skull with his 1800 deck.
That's really decent to burn that Summon Skull straight away like that.
So now,
that's a really strong monster for him to just be able to pull out like that.
Yeah. Okay, how do I do this? That to that into that. Usually you don't want to use Muka Muka here because obviously it takes so long to like move. But hey ho, I'm overestimating. Smite me down.
But not by too much. Hopefully,
blame
we're nearly done here.
Blame the deck edit. So this is the issue. Is he's just gonna move away until we get Wasteland. So hopefully we draw it, or he just attacks into me. It'd be quite nice. Oh, but why? I should. So now we want to go in the corner, see if we can summon over something. I think he'll attack my monster at some point. I'm pretty sure. Here we go. Is he going to force? Yeah, takes 2,000. That gains 2,000 damage. I lose 2,000. Okay, it's a Shadow Ghoul. Interesting.
So we need to defend here because that's going to be quite strong, right? So we need to at least be away from it.
Yeah. I'm guessing it could be Labyrinth Tank actually. That's quite strong. I'm hoping he attacks my card. It'd be very handy if he did. I doubt he will. I see why people don't use Muka Muka against him now. This is very useless.
As soon as we
Yeah,
kill,
this is the last one. Yeah, should be.
as soon as we kill this guy.
Unless I bottle it. Just attack me. Thank you. This should be it. Please. If his cards weren't just like insanely high damage, we just win straight away. But so okay. Oh, we can still do something here. Oh my god. The hands are just dreadful. I'm gonna defense mode this, so he probably should attack into it, and then we can just defense mode it. Yeah, he moves into us, nice. And then might be able to get a wasteland off. Right. What's he got left? 1100. Please.
Perfection.
Yeah, cool. Right. Make sure. Yeah. Okay. Time's coming up in 3, 2, 1. And that's time.
GG.
Time.
Yeah.
Well done.
So technically, didn't lose a duel. So that's kind of what you want. You didn't have to. I didn't have to reset anything like, you know, like settle and stuff. So obviously, crash happened. You missed a duel. Sorry. Basically, it's just like the basically it's kind of like this MFL. Just has different cards. He has crush in the middle. You still force. It's a different strategy. But yeah, obviously we're a bit over, so I'm gonna just wrap up. So yeah. Again, if you want to run this game more or anything, speedrun.com. There's a Discord for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Rosies and that. It'd be nice to get more people in because obviously it's a weird niche game. But I hope you enjoyed. You can say goodbye as well.
Yeah, play Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Konami.
Yeah, yeah, you know that. I'm sure you do. But yeah, that's it. So I've been DeanoWeb. Thank you for watching, guys. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you very much, Dino and Patchy. Big round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, we are going to go straight on, folks, to our next one, our setup here. We will be back very, very shortly. We have some Sonic R coming up with you after this intermission. Please stay tuned. Cheers.